Hi, good evening, everybody. This is Pastor David here again, and welcome to another session of Easy Dharma for Difficult Times. So today we'll be talking about Vajrayogini. So before we go on, let me do the usual, which is to refresh the screen and greet you guys, and have a bit of interaction. So I'm not just speaking to the phone. Let me see. Okay, I can see myself, so I'm online, and I'm gonna lower the resolution. Hi, Yiling, King Hoi, and a whole bunch of other people. I can't really see who they are, but I can see Pastor Neral and David. Hello. Binkula, Changzola. Hello. So today, before we go into the actual topic, I've thought I'll bring up something that a question, a comment from the net. I gave a sharing about Tara about somewhere 4 or 5 days ago, right? And someone left a comment about how he does not believe in Tara. There's two parts to this comment slash question, in the sense that the first part of it was talking about his disbelief in Tara, the existence of Tara, and the effectiveness of her practice, because he knows someone who is a devout Tara practitioner and a medicine Buddha. I remember he said this too, medicine Buddha and Tara, very devout, always go for pujas, always do their mantras and all that, and make offerings and stuff. And then he ended up being in his words, a vegetable. All right. And then he said that he does not believe in karma. And so he said, if you're going to answer, don't use the karma thing, because he doesn't really believe in karma and previous life. And he said, if you're going to go into it, it's like, if there is karma, it should have resolved in each lifetime. The karma of that life should be resolved in that life itself. He doesn't believe in passing along to the next life. So I thought I'd bring it up because in the future, that some of you might come across people with such similar belief systems or similar beliefs, and that you may have to address. So I think it's something, we can all, I'll give you what I think about it, and then perhaps if you have other views about it, you can share. This is, I just because I'm a pastor, and I may not have the best answer, nor have I the perfect answer, or I know everything. Maybe you know something you wish to share, which is why not, what I think is, I feel that he has a misconception of Tara, who Tara is, and how Tara functions in our practice. Okay, I think that he has this theistic. You know what's theistic? Theistic is a belief in an outer God who creates situations, create the world, create you and me and all that. And then that's why he believed that, Tara, he thought that Tara is that kind of figure, and hence, if Tara exists, he wouldn't allow things like that to happen. Since this person is so nice, such a devoted practitioner, how come she's allowing it to happen? That was his grouse. And in Buddhism, we do not believe Tara, medicine Buddha, and all the enlightened Buddhas, including Shakyamuni and whatever Buddhas, as long as they're identified as a enlightened being. They are not a created God. They do not have control over our karma directly, as in they cannot change our karma. They have only taught a way, a method, using their enlightenment, using their ability, their qualities, the special qualities of enlightened being. They themselves were once sanctioned beings, ordinary beings, suffering from karma, suffering from disease, suffering from old age, sickness, and death. And that's what Buddha Shakyamuni witnessed, and that spurred him on to his practice. And eventually gaining enlightenment. And when he gained enlightenment, he said he's not a god. Someone asked him, a Brahmin asked him, are you a god? He said, no, I'm not. I'm just a man. So, but he is, the thing is, what he achieved with his mind was much more. Okay? So, the practice of Tara, or any deities like Vajrayogini, which I'm going to share today, is a practice for us to purify karma, to gain attainments, to become who we really are, an enlightened being. Because ultimately, the practice of all these deities, right? The actual practice is actually to visualize yourself as a deity. So we visualize ourselves as an enlightened being. So in the practice, I mean, it's more than just imagination. There are certain steps you have to do, of course, when you receive the practice. Then when you do that, what happens is you replace your self-cherishing mind with the mind of the deity. If it's Tara, it's Tara. If it's Vajrayogini, it's Vajrayogini. It doesn't matter. Vajrayogini, Tara, all are the same. They're the same, meaning they are fully enlightened. They are full of wisdom, full of compassion. It's that qualities that we are wishing to embody through their practice. All right? So everybody clear about that. And that's what I feel this person was had this misconception, because he believed that when you have prayed to Tara, all your problems are solved. She will protect you. Yes, the Buddhas will protect you, but if you have the karma to be harmed, if you have the karma to receive a certain accident, and you will definitely get it. But if you do your practice, it is possible to purify that karma. It is possible. There's only one karma you cannot purify, is old age and death. Okay? All of us have to go through that. So there's no immortality in our existence as a human being. We still have to grow old. We still have to die. There's no purification. There is a possibility of extending our lives, but there's no purification of death. All right. So when we engage in any of these practices, whether it's long life practices, whether it's Tara practice, they cannot save you from death, because it is the nature of our existence as a human being. There is not a single deity on earth or anywhere who can save us from death. All right. What can save us from death is when we practice the Dharma, we transform so we can meet death with courage, no regrets, and prepared, meaning we've done well with our lives, living a virtuous life. We have transformed our mind. We are ready for it, so that our negative qualities does not drag us down at the point of death, does not create the conditions for a negative rebirth. So with Tara, with Medicine Buddha, with Vajrayogini, that's what we're aiming to do. Is when we reach that point, we are prepared. When we reach that point, for Vajrayogini, I'll get into that later. All right. So I feel that he had a misconception about that, and that's why I wanted to share. If you have any points to share, I got a lot of hellos. Sorry, I didn't say hello to a lot of people. Keng Hoi, Yin Ping, Sharon, Yiling, all the way from America. Welcome. Kwan Ming, Jillian, David Chu. Hello, Rocha. Long time no see. Namaste. How is Nepal? PJA. Kian. Okay. The list goes on. Hin Ho, Martin, Taming. Must be the weather. Nice weather, so everybody's come on live streaming. So I'm very casual. I'm not a very formal speaker and I'm not a speaker anyway. I'm just sharing whatever. So that's what I feel, that this person had this misconception. There's an all creator, a creator force. And usually for a lot of people, we are used to that kind of mentality when it comes to a divinity, when it comes to a higher being, a God, a Buddha. Buddha and God, people may not know the difference. So when you view Tara, when you look at the practice, it is not a practice that will save you from all your karma just because you have faith. You need to do the practice. You need to do the offerings. You need to do purification practices. And then what happens is over time you purify. And in fact, personally, I feel that this person that he's talking about, who is or vegetable. Maybe it's his purification, his last purification before he takes a good rebirth. You never know. Sometimes the purification happens in a sense that we still have to experience the negative karma, but it's at a reduced effect. Meaning, let's say if you're supposed to experience an accident that would cost you your leg, that you have to be amputated, and if you do the practice, perhaps you're able to purify it. Instead, you get a lesser, you get knocked down and you twist your arm instead of you lose your leg. It could be something like that too. So purification depends on how well you do it. The purpose of purification is not to reduce the gravity of karma, it is to remove it completely. And it's not when we talk of purification, it is not, it is to remove all the negative karma of accidents, of bad things happening to us. That's not the purpose of purification. The purpose of purification is to remove the causes of everything. The causes of being hurt, the inner causes, because everything bad and good happens to us based on our self-cherishing mind, based on the negative actions we have done. So purification is to remove that to that level, so that we transform our mind, so we do not act in a way that will produce future negative karma. Not just avoid an accident, avoid being sick, avoid having something nasty happen to us, a bad relationship. No, that's not the purpose of purification. So everybody must have an understanding of what real Buddhist purification is about. It is to remove the causes, the negative delusions and its imprints. Okay, I won't go into it because there's a whole session about karma and imprints and all that. But people must understand that. Okay, so Yi Ling has a question here. So basically, Dharma practice is preparation for death. Dharma is training our mind for future lives. Wait, there's other comments above. Before I answer that, although this person doesn't believe in karma, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And when our karma ripens, no Buddhas can help stop it. That's right, Sharon, that's right. He has a very, I think the way he thinks is based on a very theistic mindset. Monotheism, polytheism, that word theism meaning a belief in an outer God, in a creator God or gods. So he has a belief that, so when there's an outer God or a creator God, so they control things. And so he feels that there's that entity controlling things, and that's why he feels that it's unfair that if there is karma, it should be finished. All the accounting should be completed, close account every lifetime. We wish ideally that's supposed to happen, but it does not happen. Okay, we have no control. We do not experience all the karma that we were supposed to experience in every lifetime. If we did, we don't need to go to the next life lah. We just end it and then we just become a Buddha, we sit on a cloud. If we can end our karma accounting, we just close account lah. We want to continue on to the next account, You understand? I mean, it sounds like a joke, but it should make sense, Obviously, we have not closed account. We have not experienced all the karma of that life, and that's why it's brought over to the next life. Credit the next account, the next life, or debit, whatever it is. I'm sorry, my accounting has gone down the drain. So my point in that joke is that karma it's not decided by an external force. It's not by a being. It is a force that's a natural state of how things are. It's a law. It's like gravity. Rinpoche had made the comparison once. It's like gravity. So gravity is not something that is decided by the earth. Earth is not an entity. It's just the way things are. So it's a natural law. So since karma it's like that, so it is, and what determines what ripens and what fruitions in every lifetime, it depends on the condition. with the right conditions, the karma will sprout. So what kind of conditions? If we have been doing a lot of virtuous work, so positive mindset, positive thinking, virtuous thoughts will generally attract virtuous, karma to arise. Along with some negative karma, it's inevitable because we have so many negative karma, because we're not a Buddha yet. So the point, as long as we are not a Buddha, we'll always have karma and we'll always have negative karma. Because we are not a Buddha means we still have cherishing mind. Okay, we have a self-cherishing mind, a grasping mind, whatever terms we want to use. A mind that is thinking of its own welfare and its own benefit, it will create karma, positive and negative. So as long as you have that, you will experience it. All right, so I just wanted to share that and then go into the next one. So basically, Dharma practice is preparation for death. Actually, spiritual practice, it's becoming a better person, ultimately to prepare for death, to prepare for future lives. In Dharma, in Buddhism, in Buddha Dharma, okay, in Buddha Dharma or Buddhism, ultimately we are preparing for future lives. Once you have established yourself, taken refuge, you should start believing or start learning about future lives to ground yourself and believe in future lives. Because some of us have very wishy-washy understanding or belief. We're not so sure it exists. Maybe it does, maybe it does not. So we should ground it. All right, we're understanding. And then Moon Ting, hello. And David Chu, you gave a definition of theism. Belief in the existence of God or God, specifically of a creator who intervenes in the universe. Correct? That's what I was trying to say. Rochak, you have a question? I came across a phrase called Changzo. I was referring to Bengkuila, which just means Rinpoche's PA. Rinpoche's PA in the Tibetan, correct Tibetan term is Changzo, all right? And nice to see you, long time no see. And Grace, strongly agreed on karma accounting. Thank you. Okay, so we've kind of settled that. I just wanted to share because I thought it was very interesting. I wanted to express to him directly while writing, but I thought I express it here better because for your benefit, because we always meet different people and we may come across people who may have similar thoughts. And then this is my answer to that. This is not really refined and not really written or thought of properly, but these are my thoughts. All right. Okay. So on Vajrayogini, let's talk about Vajrayogini. Where should we start? Vajrayogini is, in our tradition, a higher tantric practice. It is a practice that can only be practiced if you have her initiation. All right, everybody understand? You cannot do her sadhana, her mantra, or even the 8-line praise to Vajrayogini unless you receive either permission from a lama, qualified lama, or you have a full initiation. So everybody clear? But Rinpoche has encouraged people to aspire to her initiation, aspire to gain her practice, aspire to gain her practice, to understand her, because she has many benefits. And higher Tantra is the synthesis of all of the Buddha's, everything that the Buddha's method in terms of the quick method, the fast method. Tantra is synonymous with speed. It is to achieve attainments, enlightenment within this life. The purpose is actually to achieve enlightenment in this life itself, not next life, not future lives, not 3 aeons later. Like Buddha Shakti, he practiced for 3 aeons in order to become a fully enlightened being, because along the way we probably lost in some incarnation, some lifetime as animals and all. So we don't know whether we are able to achieve it. If we aspire in future lives, we should aspire in this life. So the idea of Tantra is to achieve enlightenment in this lifetime. Because all of us modern practitioners want results quick. We want quick, fast, and this is what it's about. So Buddha taught this quick path, but It has to be taught to the right person. It has to be taught to a practitioner who is ready to receive the practice. Hence the initiation, hence the Lama who prepares the students. All right. So there is, that's why we have to engage, we have to have at least an understanding of the Lamrim. And understanding, not realization. If realization, none of us will qualify. Understanding of the Lamrim and grounded in all the three principal aspects of the path. Cho Lansung Namsung. This is what Rinpoche said. The three principles. This is a synthesis of the Lamrim in renunciation, bodhicitta, and emptiness. All right. So what happens is Vajrayogini, according to Rinpoche, is meant for us, is ideal for us because the requirements for our practice is easier compared to the other quick methods like Yamataka, like Heruka, like Guya Samaja. They are her practice is much simpler, much more potent and simpler. The sadhana is simpler. Even her appearance is simpler, meaning her appearance, meaning the form, which I'm going to talk about today, which is, her legs, her hands, what she carries, the color, her hair, and what she carries, a crown and all that. It's a lot simpler than Yamataka with 35 arms and Heruka with 12 and all these deities, all higher tantric deities generally are more complicated with more complicated. And why I say complicated, why does it matter? Why does the deity's form matter to you? You can just look at the Tanka, right? You're supposed to visualize, by the way. Yeah, you're supposed to do visualization when you do the practice. Okay? So it's important that the aspect of her, the simplicity of her form is important because a lot of us have very short attention span, unable to focus. And so when you have just a lady, holding the skull cup and then standing more to her left and then holding the karanka and the knife and that's it. And then, whatever the accoutrements, the bone ornaments, that's it. And you can look at the statue, So, and that is also, this simplicity is also reflected in her sadhana. Okay, let's go into her appearance anyway. So what happens is, Vajrayogini is, I have some questions, some comments. Let me go into it first before I go into that. This is something from Chung. Karma is a seed of potential planted caused by past actions. We all have big warehouse store. I think you can read that. It's a bit long. And then Bing Kui has a question. What would be the result if someone were to recite Vajrayogini's mantra, 8-line praise, or prayer without permission? Generally, it is inauspicious. When they say inauspicious, means nothing bad. Nothing bad will generally happen to you, in a sense that it's not that Vajrayogini will come and punish you. The Dharma protector will come and punish you. Buddha will not come and punish you. Your guru won't come and punish you, but the guru will not be happy if you do so. It's that you create obstacles in the future when you actually receive her practice because you have broken it is samaya bound. This thing is sealed by samaya, meaning you have to receive it from a lama. So you do not want to create. It's a kind of a negative karma, negative repercussion, and I hope you're still online live, right? Because my thing went off. It's still on? All right. So basically, it's meant to be given. So when you don't follow, you actually break some of the samaya. So when you do actually receive the practice, you may have some obstacles. You may gain some obstacles, meaning it could be, I don't know, maybe you weren't concentrating, or maybe your mind is something else, thinking of something else. And eventually what happens is when you have obstacles, it can lead to bigger obstacles, and eventually you will not be able to do the practice. So in higher tantra, there's always a bigger danger with obstacles because it is a quick method. It is a Ferrari. It is a Porsche. So if you are just barely 12 years old in your practice, So when you drive a Ferrari, you may get derailed. You may crash the car. So in real life, you're not crashing any car. In real life means your obstacles may take over, your attachments take over. You may give up the practice and not continue, and that will be inauspicious for you. Inauspicious doesn't mean, inauspicious. What does inauspicious means? Inauspicious just means that when you have not. It is usually an indication of something negative, bad was going to happen, and you get the what is negative, what is bad will be when you leave the practice, you give up the practice, or you feel that your job is more important. Maybe your time is taken up by your family, your job. You're unable to do your sadhana and you give it up, for example. So that begins first with something inauspicious earlier on. So inauspicious is just an indicator of the future because you have created a cause for it. And that's why in Tantra, because it moves, it takes a lot of merit. It takes a lot of merits to sustain your practice. It takes a lot of samaya, good samaya. So when just small things like that, it's not small actually. It's a huge breakage of samaya when you do the practice before you actually, recite the mantra and all that, thinking you have the permission when you don't. It's not good. You do not want to create obstacles for your practice in the future. All right, so we can continue. Let me know if that makes sense to you or you have any further questions. All right, thank you very much, Beng Kui. So she is, Rinpoche speaks about her in terms of her color. First thing is her color. Her color is red. And red has many meanings behind it in terms of a practice. Red is a meaning. It's associated with desire, love, relationship, and in the Buddhist sense, it's not so much as romantic love; it's attachment. It is grasping. So what Vajrayogini does, it does not hook you on, and she looks sensual and all that. She does her red, the color of her body. Is not meant to increase your desire. It is actually the reverse. It is meant to hook you to her desire. You're attracted first because she's dazzling. When you look at the tankas of her, images of her, it is her simplicity and just her sensual, her figure is attractive. So, and especially because she's red, so she hooks you. And then when you look at her, you gain blessings of a fully enlightened being. And then when you do a practice, you remove your attachment, okay, your grasping. All right. So next thing is, she's totally naked, unfettered. Unfettered is the word that Rinpoche used, and also in a lot of descriptions of Vajrayogini, her hair is loose, is not tied up. It means that nothing holds her down. She's totally free. Free from what? Free from samsara. And what is samsara? Samsara is all the things that, all our problems in life, all our attachments, all our desires, is the three poisons, basically. When you sum up the 6 realms, remember that immediately when you talk of samsara, you think of the 6 realms. But actually, the 6th realm, the core of all realms, all beings in these realms, is the 3 poisons in the middle. The 3 animals representing the 3 poisons, which is what? Which is ignorance, hatred, and desire. Okay? And if you want to condense it further, it's just ignorance. At the bottom most is ignorance. And that is represented by, even on her, is represented by what she steps on. She's bent to the left, remember? She steps on 2 deities. 2 worldly deities, worldly gods, offering themselves up to Vajrayogini under her feet, holding her under her feet. And she is stepping on the left feet, on Bhairava, which is a male deity, a male darker colored deity, and she's stepping on 2 points, on the forehead and the middle of her back, representing by ignorance and hatred. Okay, on the right leg, which is outstretched. I'm sorry, I'm unable to show you because I'm sitting down. Outstretched, so her leg is more bent to the left, and the right is outstretched. The right leg is stepping on a female deity, specifically on on her breasts, representing her stepping on desire. So this represents the three poisons, the very core of samsara. All right? And that is everything that all our problems, all our negative karma, delusions, everything is, when you boil it down, the essence of it is these three poisons: ignorance, hatred, and desire. All right? Okay. I hope I'm on still, because I'm just have a bum sign right now. Never mind. Anyway, so Vajrayogini, I spoke of a color, and she carries. Okay, where should I start? Let's talk about the necklace that she wears. She has bone ornaments, but the most important of all her ornaments is actually the necklace that she carries. Okay, the necklace that she carries is 50 skulls, dry skulls, and I've been reading up on it, so I was prepared for this, and not really reading. Sorry, I was listening to Rinpoche's teachings, and what Rinpoche said, a few things. I went through a number of teachings to get this. Number one is the 5 skull represents the 50 alphabets of the Sanskrit language, which is 32 consonants and 18 vowels. And Sanskrit is a sacred language in Buddhism because it represents the language that is used to convey the Dharma. All right? And what Rinpoche said was, why is it representing the 50 syllables, the 50 alphabets? Is because when you engage in Vajrayogini practice, you are developing the speech of Vajrayogini, Buddha's speech. You're creating a cause to develop that. That's one explanation Rinpoche gave. Another explanation is that it's skull. It's dried up skull. So meaning it's dry and it's completely devoid of flesh, meaning Vajrayogini's practice has this ability to completely remove all your delusions, all your projections, all your negative karma. When it's completely removed, you become a Buddha. Okay, that is the ability of Vajrayogini as represented by the skull. And the last one, which I think is the most important definition of that, the meaning of that necklace, is that it represents renunciation. Okay, renunciation is a very important, in practice of Tantra, it's very important in Tantra, because renunciation is not, most people have this idea of renunciation is actually to give up everything, give up your whole family, give up your car, throw everything away, and then run off into the cave and meditate. No. And I just saw one teaching by Lama Rinpoche, he also said no. That's not what renunciation is about, because you can give up everything physical, but your mind is very attached, you have not developed renunciation. Okay, renunciation is to see the faults of samsara, to see the faults of your character, to see the faults of your attachments, what you really, the things that you're very attached to, and how you exaggerate it, how you create suffering for yourself. And then you realize, the first step is to realize that it is suffering, to realize that it brings suffering, to realize it creates all the problems, and to see that, because a lot of us, we may know intellectually, but we don't see it. That's why although we know it's bad for us, and that's why we keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. It's like, an example would be like someone who is, you ask any smoker, on the cigarette package, you see there's a lungs riddled with cancer, and it's scary and disgusting, but they open it up, and they see, but they open it up, and then they take out a cigarette anyway. I see most smokers do that. In Malaysia, it's a requirement for all cigarette packages to have pictures of cancer survivors, and then they cut up the lungs, and it's all full of tar, and it's all rotten from cancer. And it is to deter smokers, but it does nothing for smokers. And it's not that they don't see it, it's that they see it, but it doesn't make, their attachment is stronger. So when you develop renunciation, the idea of developing renunciation is to see. And when you see, it changes you. So what happens is, as a result, your attachments becomes lesser and lesser over time. All right. So in order to practice Vajrayogini, you do not need to be devoid of all attachments. If you are devoid of all attachments, you're already almost there already. You know, you already in Kechara Paradise already. But at the moment, you're not. I mean, you're already a Buddha already. At the moment, you don't need to have completely remove everything, but you need to have at least an understanding of renunciation, understanding of the faults of samsara, to engage in the practice. All right. Okay, let me see. There's a comment from David. In the past, I've done circumambulation of Vajrayogini Stupa just outside Wisdom Hall at KFR while reciting her mantra without initiation. Should I stop? How did you find the mantra, David? Yes, please do not do the mantra. If you have no initiation, don't do it. What Rinpoche recommends for people who circumambulate Vajrayogini Stupa is to recite your Guru's mantra. Om A Guru Kati Dasa Shashanadara Virya Siddhi Hong Hong. That's Tem Rinpoche's mantra. Okay? Or you can recite Manjushi's mantra or any other mantra that you're familiar that does not require initiation. All right? So Vajrayogini requires initiation for you to recite her mantra. Okay, so I'll go back to her necklace. Okay, her 50 dried up skulls. And so it represents renunciation, the first of the three principal aspects of the path. All right. And then the next thing is her face. Rinpoche goes into very detail when she gives the teaching. You know, she's youthful, she's pretty, she's not wrathful, as in complete wrath like Mahakala, Yamantaka, you know, where it's like male and angry and burning and the eyebrows and flames and all that. She is actually sensual, and she's only her face expresses two emotions. All right, it expresses a slight wrath, slight only, and desire. Okay, and Rinpoche specifically says sexual desire. All right. Obviously, I have some kind of attachment, but anyway. So it's these two emotions as expressed through Vajrayogini's face, right? And her mouth is open, her tongue is curled, and she has 4 fangs. May or may not be expressed in statues and tankas because it's too small and it's quite scary. And then, and she has 3 eyes on her face, right? And interestingly, her eyes in her sadhana looks at 3 different directions. Looks up to Kechara Paradise, looks towards you, and looks down towards you. There's 3. So Rinpoche said that these 3 eyes, 3 angles, if it's depicted on tankas and statues, it will be very weird. So no artist does that. All right, so it is meant to show you that, you know, her promise to bring you to Kechara Paradise. What is Kechara Paradise? Kechara Paradise has a couple of meanings, by the way. Kechara Paradise is a physical location out of samsara, out of the 6 realms at least, out of the 6 realms, and it's a place that is existing because of, you know, is emanated from Vajrayogini's mind. And it is a place where you do not need to be a Buddha or somewhere along the way of, you know, high levels of attainments to achieve. But if you engage in a practice, you can achieve. Later, I'll tell you what's the requirements if I have time. Okay, there are certain requirements. There's 3 levels of requirements. You know, if you are a lazy, a middling, or a diligent practitioner, there's 3 levels of practitioners, and in what way you can achieve Kechara Paradise. Okay, there's a bit of it. Okay, and then her mouth. Okay, her mouth has a symbolism of great bliss, of sexual bliss, of great bliss lah. Okay, bliss that is uncontaminated. There is such thing as uncontaminated bliss because there's ecstasy that's derived from meditation, from her practice that you can achieve, but it's uncontaminated, meaning it does not make your attachments go stronger, because normal bliss that we experience, normal trivial bliss that we experience brings us to greater attachment, greater desire. Okay, hers is different. So that is the second of the principal aspects of the path, which is that means that she'll bring you bodhicitta. She will bestow on you bodhicitta through her practice, because the practice of her meditation, when you do it, is to generate movement of the winds, the psychic winds in the body. There's a whole, I can go on a whole lot of teaching of it, so but just bear with me. Yeah? The development of the movement of the psychic channels is to, what does it do for you? It brings you to enlightenment. And one of the stages of enlightenment is called bodhicitta, meaning development of great compassion. A compassion that is from you. Is not contrived. It's not, oh, I have to be compassionate, or it's a practice. It is, or you have achieved it. You are, compassion is from you. You are compassion. Okay, it's spontaneous. That's what they say. It's spontaneous, and it's all pervasive lah. So that's the second one. The second principal aspect of the path, that we have to intellectually understand how to develop great compassion in our practice. Okay, and okay, that's her face, and her eyebrows are not burning, like Mahakala. You see all these bushy statues and tankas is bushy, meaning it's burning. So hers is actually female and what do you call this? Sultry, and just a hint of wrath. And her wrath is targeted at all spirits. So spirits, and that's why her practice, she has special rituals in her tantra that can control spirits. Very powerful for it. All right. Okay, I have a question here. Pastor David, if we have Vajrayogini image on our altar, this is from Yiman. Pastor David, if we have Vajrayogini image on our altar, can we visualize Vajrayogini on our daily sadhana? Yiman, you can, but not yourself as Vajrayogini as an external deity. I do that every time I try to, at least. I try to, bring up the image of Vajrayogini whenever I do, a special prayer to Vajrayogini, because there are praises on Vajrayogini, on Vajrayogini website, on Rinpoche's blog, that you can recite. Okay, look out for it. If you like Vajrayogini, if you feel you want to achieve control of your life and death, your rebirth rather, practice Vajrayogini, meaning create the causes now. All right? You can visualize, you can look at the statue and visualize, or if you don't have a statue, you can also visualize. Maybe you can print out, or you can just visualize. It's not a problem. It is good practice actually to visualize. It is always good, because when you actually engage the practice, it's advisable to engage the sadhana complete with all its visualizations and meditations. All right. So I've done her face, and then now we go into her hair is not tied up. Like Tara is tied up in 3 buns. I didn't mention that day, but this is usual. Most Buddhas have this 3, meaning they're out of samsara, the 3 realms, the 3 cosmos, form, formless, and desire. If you have a question about that, ask Pastor Narao. Just kidding. So anyway, meaning they're enlightened, okay? But Vajrayogini doesn't have that. Vajrayogini's hair is all down and loose, not tied up at all. And she has a skull cup helmet and a crown. And what do you call this? It's Vajra. It's made of 5 Vajras and then 1 Vajra sticking out. And next thing is what she holds in her hands, all right? She holds on her left hand a skull cup. Okay? The skull cup is filled with nectar, divine nectar. Rinpoche said, usually when we drink some kind of beverage, right, we have to put our mouth closed, and then Rinpoche said for Vajrayogini, she doesn't have to do that. It's just there, and then it flows to her mouth, actually. So what happens is this nectar in her skull cup represents her meditation, because it's a sacred substance. When you drink it, you gain great bliss, emptiness and bliss, great bliss and emptiness. So, but this one is specifically her meditation on emptiness. Okay, it's symbolic of meditation on emptiness. So that's the last of the 3 principal aspects of the path, which is emptiness, the realization of emptiness. All right, and Until I'm able to and qualified to teach you emptiness, I will not attempt to do it right now. But emptiness is one of the things we should at least have an understanding, a very basic understanding of what emptiness is. All right? We should learn about it, read about it eventually. And in fact, it's mentioned in the later chapters of the Lamrim on wisdom, specifically on wisdom. All right? And she has a karanka. What is a karanka? It's a staff. It's a tantric staff. The tantrikas, the tantric meditators in ancient India, they carry a staff. Okay, this staff is symbolic for their meditations and practice. And in Vajrayogini's case, it is symbolic of what? It is symbolic of a consort, Heruka. Heruka and Vajrayogini are in union together. When you look at Heruka, there are lineages of Heruka where it's just Heruka alone, but generally the general lineage of Heruka, right? The general lineage of Heruka is with Vajrayogini in union, okay? And so Vajrayogini carries him in that form of the Kadanga on her, what do you call this? On her shoulder. And in statues, it would not be easy for it to be made that way. I don't know if you can balance your Kadanga and maybe put a blue tag there and stick it there. But usually it's placed standing, it's fine. But in a sadhana, it's balanced on the shoulder. All right? And I won't go into details. Rinpoche's teaching has details about the three heads representing the three Buddhas of the past, present, and future, and then the double cross Vajra, the long life vase, and then the kata with the bell and the damaru. Rinpoche has a teaching on it, but the main differentiation from other karangas is that, like Guru Rinpoche's karanga looks similar, but it's different because on top is not a Vajra. On top is actually a trident for Guru Rinpoche's. All right, so that is Vajrayogini's karanga. It represents Heruka, meaning her and Heruka is the same being. You know what's interesting? People think it's two Buddhas, Heruka and Vajrayogini. Actually, it's not two Buddhas. It is just one Buddha. It's just Heruka. It is just Heruka manifesting as Vajrayogini. And then her energy of Vajrayogini, because Rinpoche said male and female, okay? Male and female represents the two aspects of enlightenment, which is method and wisdom. Okay, method is great compassion and wisdom. Method is always the male, which is Heruka. Wisdom is always female, which is Vajrayogini. So in Vajrayogini's practice is the path of wisdom. So she emphasizes it in a female form. Okay? And so let me see. This is Ng Yu Sing. Pastor, does all Buddhas have their own pure lands? What other Buddhas are there in Kechara Paradise? There are many Buddhas in Kechara Paradise, including Dorje Shukden. I don't know about what other Buddhas are there because I haven't... Pastor Narals whispers across the room and says Singdoma. I know for a fact that Singdoma is there. I know for a fact that Dorje Shukden is there because when you do her prayer, his counsel, his puja, we call him from Kechara, Kyadra or Kechara, right? And annually, Rinpoche did. I remember very clearly when you asked this question, Rinpoche did joked about. Actually, all the pure lands are connected. So if you go to one pure land, you can go to another. The Buddhas especially, they go from one to another. So it's not a problem for them. So it's more of the practitioner. From the side of the practitioner, we can't, choose. It's not something you pick and choose. We need to practice to develop the cause to take rebirth there. Okay? So that's the more important thing, like whether the other Buddhas are there or not. It's more important is that we have to get there. Why do we want to get to a pure land, right? The idea of a pure land, the purpose of the pure land, not the idea, the purpose of the pure land is so that we can continue our practice uninterruptedly. Because when we take rebirth, we have so much distractions. We firstly need to eat. We need to be taken care as a baby. Education. We have our attachments. We have to get a job. Our bodies get ill. We have so much, and then we have entertainment. We have all sorts of things that distract us from practice. Most of the time, our distractions win over our spiritual practice. And sometimes our spiritual directors win only for a small period of time. So in a Pure Land, it's designed in such a way by Vajrayogini. She's a wonderful designer, incredible. She designed it in such a way that there's no way you can be distracted, because everything in Kechara is just, everything is Dharma. You listen to it said literally, it said that the wind blow, the trees rustle, the leaves, and you hear the sound. Dharma is imprinted on your mind, because everything is emanated from her. So when we go there, it's almost like an assurance that you will become attained. If you don't become a Buddha, you become attained. Definitely. So it is a place we want to go. We want to take rebirth, definitely. Okay, Ellen Serrato. Hello. I have talked with some Vajrayogini practitioners, and they told me that after the empowerment, eating pork is prohibited. Is this true? Is my empowerment? They never talk about this. Ellen, I do not have the initiation, and Rinpoche has never talked about pork per se, as in just that one type of meat, pork per se. All I know is that in Lama Chirpa, when you engage in tok, you do partake of a little bit of meat and alcohol. It's symbolic, all right? So it's partaking doesn't mean having a feast. Partaking means just a taste. The taste is to overcome duality, actually. So the prohibition on pork, I have no idea. Maybe you want to ask a more qualified Lama about this. All right. And Pastor Tak Ming. Oh, he did? All right. Okay, I will refresh that page and go into it. Just give me a moment. I'm refreshing to see your other questions, which I kind of missed. It's refreshing. Give me some time. Okay. Before Alan's question. Oh, Alan, you asked also, hello, David. I would like to ask how to do a tantric shrine, which offerings to put for Vajrayogini and Kinkara, and what are Bala and Mandana. Thank you so much.
Bala means offering, and Mandana I think means
mandala.
Bala means offering.
Okay. I was just told by Pastor Niral that Bala means offerings, and Mandana means mandala. It's just another term. All right. So Vajrayogini, if you're going to set up a shrine to Vajrayogini, if you're going to set up according to tradition, because she does have sensory offerings with the flute and all that, I will not go into it because I don't have the initiation, because I've seen it being set up before. Perhaps you want to refer to a qualified Lama to be able to do it. I don't have the qualifications for that. And it should be available in many books. There are many books on Vajrayogini, like Guide to Dakini Land by Geshe Kelsang, and then there's quite a number of Lamas with books on Vajrayogini that will have specific requirements, specific instructions on the sensory offerings, if that's what you have in mind. But on a daily basis, you do not need to do all that. That is specifically for pujas and her retreats and practices. All right. If it's going to be on a daily basis, a lot of us in Kechara, what happens is we set up our altars based on the offerings that is what you call common, meaning we offer water, we offer tea, we offer flowers, we offer incense, food, toma, food as in toma, we fruits, we offer mandala, we offer, the usual offerings. So it depends what are you referring to, all right? Okay, and after Alan's question, the second question I already spoke about, Luca Trinley. Might Haruka represents felicity and Vajrayogini emptiness in a way? Felicity, what does felicity means? Is it like serendipity? Everything is, right? Or happiness. Great bliss. Yeah, I just saw a definition recently of Haruka, which is Dechok in Tibetan, and I saw it the translation in Sanskrit is Mahasukha, great bliss, isn't it? Yeah. So I guess you can use felicity, but actually it's more accurate to be great bliss. And Vajrayogini, yeah, I mean, definitely she's emptiness, but usually it's the diamond sound. It's usually related to Vajravarahi, Doje Pamo, which is the adamantine, the indestructible, the Vajra Sao, the pig, meaning overcoming ignorance. All right. And then Pastor Tami has an answer. Pastor David said, it is inauspicious to recite Vajrayogini's mantra without proper receiving initiation from a qualified Lama, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I won't read what Pastor Tami wrote, and you can read it yourself. It's good to know. And then Pas Chung wrote he just posted the praise. And then I see David. Okay. Irene, for talk partaking meat is reminding us to practice on non-dualistic view. Yes, that's what I meant. And then down, I see a lot of comments. Thanks. And then thank you. Pas and Chung, attachment aversion, you mean, I don't know which part of you're talking about. Oh, it's to Irene. And then Luca Trinley says thank you. Oh, attachment aversion in response to Irene. No, it's not attachment aversion. It's non-duality. It's more than attachment and aversion. More than that. Okay. All right, where was I? So I was talking about, let me see how much time I have left. I will not go so much. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit more. Okay, let me finish iconography. I was talking about emptiness, which completes it, and any other aspects. The two deities I already mentioned. She's. Oh, one last thing about her iconography. She leans more to her left. Rinpoche said this is very unique because her tantra, her practice is actually overcoming desire. That's her main mode, her main energy, her main method. For us to achieve enlightenment. But the result is to remove ignorance and hatred more than desire. It's interesting because that's why she's actually leaning more towards the left. And then Heruka is the other way around, she said. So it's interesting. And most important thing is the idea of Vajrayogini's practice and why it's suited for us is Rinpoche said because we are lazy practitioners. In our day and age, as times get more degenerate, and Rinpoche even described what degenerate means. Degenerate means when attachments are stronger, when external comfort becomes easier, generally our attachments become stronger, and spirituality will become less and less. Her tantra, her practice will become more and more effective as time goes. And what happens is, and on top of that, not just that, on top of that, her practice, her sadhana is simple, easy. In fact, Rinpoche said, you do not need to engage in complicated visualization, complicated meditation, because some of the meditations in some of the higher tantric practices like Goya Samaja, Yamataka are quite complex, very complex, and the sadhana is long, visualizations are long, and the requirements to do that is quite difficult. All right, so for Vajrayogini, it's a lot simpler. Oh, very good, thank you. Lily Tan asks, what does the four fangs represent? Yeah, I have a story to come with it as well. Her four fangs represents the Four Noble Truths. Because why? Is because the fangs is not to kill, it is actually to attack samsara. With the four fangs, with the Four Noble Truths, you can remove all traces of samsara. So I have a story. What's the story? It's very funny because when I first heard it, I was so wow, Rinpoche spoke about her like as if she was like a vampire, a vampiress. So I was so enamored with it because I was into vampires at the time, a very gothic part of my life. So, and I was working in Kechara Paradise. meaning the shop, okay, not as in the real Kechara Paradise. The shop, the store that Rinpoche established to sell, to engage in, to sell Buddha items, and the profit goes to the organization. So what happened is there was a beautiful Vajrayogini statue, and that statue actually depicts her fangs a little bit. Interestingly, when you look closely, they did make the fangs stick out a little bit more. So and then I remember when it first opened, one of the very first people that walked in, right, I started talking about Vajrayogini and I was pointing, look, I was describing everything that Rinpoche said, but I was emphasizing the vampire part. So when he heard it, it was a man, I remember. When he heard it, he was like, you're praying to a vampire. I said, yes, she's a vampire, it's a vampire, all your negative karma. I was telling him that, and she sucks your blood. Before I could say what the blood represents, he was like, oh, thank you very much. And then he walked away. I think I scared him off. I was very, very new at that time, very green. So it's like, it was, I was just, it was just funny. So basically, the 4 fangs represent the 4 noble truths. Okay, with the 4 noble truths, she attacks samsara. Okay, it's symbolic. Everything is symbolic on her. Anyway, it was cute. What was going on was her practice, which is most suited for us, and also, I know this went on the wrong way, because now I'm telling you the lineage. Our lineage of Vajrayogini practice comes from the Narukacho lineage. Narukacho, because there's 3 main lineages: Narukacho, Indrakacho, and Maitrikacho. There are other smaller lineages, but these are the 3 main ones that's surviving today. Right? Narukacho, Indrakacho, and Maitrikacho. So they come from 3 Mahasiddhas of India. So Narukacho comes from Naropa, the Mahasiddha Naropa. As we all know, Naropa, the dauntless disciple of Tilopa. And some of us that went to Nepal, we went to his cave, and we've sat there, we prayed, we offer lights to him, because his life story was, he was such a pure disciple, with total faith in his Lama. And because of his devotion to his Lama, he gained vision of Vajrayogini, who initiated him into this new practice. Okay, so our lineage stems from Naropa. All right, but Vajrayogini, the deity itself, was first mentioned scripturally in the Chakra Samvara Tantras, the Heruka Tantras. All right, so that's the basis, the scriptural basis of this practice. This actually was supposed to be mentioned at the beginning, but I went on talking about something else. Anyway, weird. Okay.
There's a comment by LC.
Is that?
Can you see?
Oh, hi, Pastor. I was once given a book on Vajrayogini, but was asked not to open it. Is that one you're talking? Okay. At the moment, you're not encouraged to read the book. You're not supposed to read the book. Not encouraged. You're not supposed to read the book. You can put it on the altar to create the affinity to receive a practice. Most important, actually, Rinpoche said it doesn't matter. Let's say you receive a practice very late in your life or much later. It's better to practice her practice in just a few years. Let's say, you only have a few years of practice and you spend the rest of your life preparing for it. Let's say you spend like 20 years. You first heard about Vajrayogini 20 years ago. And then you practice a few years, then, you ascend to a paradise. Okay, so the preparation for her practice is the practice. Rinpoche said it's very, very important. The preparation is more important than actual practice, because when you actually engage in a practice, you have the merits to support it, and you have the requirements to support it, and then you gain the results faster. So the preparation is very important. So how do we prepare? Okay, Rinpoche has many teachings. Okay, I won't go into it right now because it's already 10, but Maybe it will be a subject of one of the later sharings, but it is important. Preparation is important. Rinpoche has given lots of teachings, the preparatory practices, engaging in our sadhana. Although we are praying to another Buddha like Lama Tsongkhapa, Dorje Shugden, Tara, Manjushri, does not matter. But we generate the merits, and we recite her praise from the site, from the website, from the Rinpoche's blog site, which we have the permission to do so, and then we create the causes, and then we have a statue. We invite a statue. These are wonderful ways to prepare to achieve Vajrayogini, because Vajrayogini promises us Kechara Paradise. And very quickly, my last thing I'm going to talk about is that we have the three types of practitioners of Vajrayogini. Okay, you can be a very lazy practitioner, super lazy, meaning you do the bare minimum. And I didn't even manage to talk about the four. Never mind. So if you could be a very, very lazy practitioner, which most of us are, I admit, me too. So what happened is you could be a very, very lazy practitioner. You could be a middling practitioner, which some who has a devotion to the Lama, who is doing the practice. Perhaps we're not as diligent. What happens is, if you are very lazy, Rinpoche said it's 14 lifetimes to ascend to Kechara Paradise. If you are a middling practitioner, according to Rinpoche's lineage, it's 7. But if you do not receive Rinpoche's lineage, it will be 14. Okay? Wait. Sorry. Backtrack. The lazy practitioner, 14 lifetimes. The middling practitioner, you achieve Kechara Paradise when we die. When we pass away, Vajrayogini will come to you, and in the form of a hag, okay, and a very old woman, and you have to see there's a few signs that there's red sindura powder on her head. You see an old woman with a bliss swirl. There's a swirl on her head, and we're supposed to grab her. Run and give her a hug, because our time of death is near already. So when we grab her, the swirl will transfer to us, and then the hag will transform to Vajrayogini, and we will send to Kechara Paradise. That's when we're really passing away. All right? We send to Kechara Paradise upon death. The most diligent practitioner, which I think very, very few of us are, we will ascend to Kechara Paradise in this lifetime. Meaning, there's two ways to ascend to Kechara in this lifetime. And one is that you physically fly up like one of the, I can't remember his name, of the Lama. I wrote the article. No, the other one. The one that flew up to Kechara Paradise. I can't remember his name. Sonam Tsemo. Yes. Sonam Tsemo is a great Lama of the Sakya tradition, a great Vajrayogini practitioner. He is said to have flew up. Literally, he didn't pass away. He flew up his whole body, and apparently someone saw him flying up with his dog along with him. He flew up to Kechara Paradise with his body, taking his body into Kechara Paradise. Or you can gain Kechara Paradise, meaning you become one with Vajrayogini in this life. So it's either one. If you are extremely diligent practitioner, meaning you have 100% Guru devotion, 100% Samaya, totally devoted, totally very diligent in your practice, and your learning, practice, everything. All right. So what happens is you will achieve Kechara Paradise, meaning you become Vajrayogini. You become one with Vajrayogini, or you fly to Kechara Paradise, either one. So that most likely count all of us out. Sorry, it probably mostly count all of us. I mean, that I know of. You guys, I don't know, maybe some Mahasiddhas listen to me, not likely, but maybe. Then it's something else. So most likely we'll either be a middling or a lazy practitioner. All right. So lazy practitioners. And what happens if you do not achieve Kechara, if you do not receive a practice? If you create the causes, if you start creating causes by inviting a statue, by doing preparatory practice, you have already sealed the link with her. Rinpoche says she's a karma deity. A karma deity means she has a very strong affinity with us. So when we create the karma with her, she will appear to us again and again in every lifetime. All right? So 14 lifetimes to achieve Kechara Paradise if you're a lazy practitioner like you and me. All right? So, was asked to cover it by another senior. Now I'm pretty lost in Dharma. I think you're referring to the Vajrayogini book, right? So the book, statue.
Both the book and the statue.
Oh, okay. If it's the statue, Rinpoche's statues are mostly unadorned. So, I mean, not unadorned, uncovered. So it's up to you. By tradition, that is tradition, okay? If like Rinpoche's Lama covered all his Vajrayogini statues, he does not allow people to peek at her and all that. But that's by tradition. Rinpoche wants people to view her to create causes, to be blessed. So it doesn't matter which one you adhere to. More important is you create the causes to achieve a practice. Okay, your intention. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. I think I've come to an end. Any last questions? No? Thank you very much. And let's do a dedication and we'll end for today. Janju Sencho Rinpoche, Maki Pana Gyushe, Gyaba Yama Mi Payang, Gone Godu Pewasho, Tony Tonga Rinpoche, Maki Pana Gyushe, Gyaba Yama Mi Payang, Gone Godu Pewasho, Dazo Jene Sabaki Wadi, Donandrua Kunlang Kampatan, Jebojo Zolo Sandrapa, Tamping Purindo Sawashi, Sho, Gewa Kunto Yana Lamatan, Chumi Joki Pala Longchojing, Sadan Longi on the Rajoni, Doji Changi Gobang Yutosho, Gewadi, Yutuda, Lama Sange Juni, Chuachika Malupa, Sala Gobasho, Chichabo Sonkapa, Chosonama Pewala, Kekishama Jiwadan, to the Maloshan Show, Dada Shengedo Sunda, Jewish Letany, Gewalo Sundrapa, Tampariva, Gushi, Nemo Della Santale, Nemegoyan Delection, Yasantatu Delepel, Contrason Jingulo, Contrason Otoso, Contrason Tashi Show, Jasonama Kusora Tenshi, Namkachi, Shoki Pada, Lawson Tami, Jomi Samsungi, Drumoso Tatuni, Gushi, Gandhi Rave Coation Gamde, Pendenda, Malukion, Cherry 1,000 Castle, Sharpie City Badu Den, Yuji, Hong Tobengo Malupa, Dendentala Sedaso, Koran Temple Lochona, Geba Sushi, Shook Den Cell. Thank you, everybody, and good night.